Hi, folks. Welcome back to Study Abroad Stories That One Time. So, this is that one time I gave my own money away. I was fresh in. I had been in Spain within the first 2 weeks or so. This was very early on. And I was walking by the cathedral, and there was, so I can't recall if I sat down or what, but I had like so let me paint the picture. The cathedral is in front of me, and Hyen's Cathedral is one of the biggest. Like, it is grande, to say the least. Like, it is huge, and I'll share a picture probably at the end of this video so you can get a sense of how big this thing was. And it was so beautiful. Not was, is. It is so beautiful. Sometimes you just want to sit and look. And so oftentimes when I was bored and when I didn't have anything to do, I would go and walk and just walk around the cathedral. Sometimes it'd be hot as all get out, so I couldn't do it all the time. But this day, it was relatively chillier. And so I had gone out. It was in the morning, I think. And I'm walking. There's not that many people out. So that's important to recall. It wasn't that many people out. And it's early. I'm an early riser, morning bird. I get up early and I spend a lot of my time in the morning kind of doing stuff while other people aren't out. And so I got up and I was walking around. I had walked. So with the cathedral in front of me, there was a pathway, a street, excuse me. It's a whole street. And across the street was a building that had a lot of trees in front. And so they had little placards where trees were and stuff like that. And they had some benches. And so I feel like I had sat on the bench, and then I got up, I had walked just to go see. There was a street nearby, and I was just kind of exploring. There's a huge part of Hyen that I never got to see, mostly because my host parents stayed towards the front near the train station and where the school was. And so I really only spent the majority of my time towards the front side of the city. And so I was trying to explore and see. I walked up the street and then I walked back down, and I walked, and there was some money on the ground. And I thought to myself, oh, this woman probably, because there was a woman sitting there with a child, and this was like a older lady. So I would say like a grandmother and a son or something like that, a grandson. And so there was some money on the ground. It was probably $20 or 20 euro. It was like 10 and a five or something like that. And so I picked it up and I said, so another piece of important context was this was the beginning. And so my Spanish wasn't that great. I couldn't have full on conversations with people. A lot of it was in English. And so I picked it up off the ground and I kind of handed it to her, and she took it. And part of me was like, okay, well, I did my deed, because I'm thinking this is her money. I go all the way back to my host parents' house. La 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 la. I get home and I'm checking. I don't know if I had mentioned this before, but I usually would check my wallet and make sure I still had everything, because pickpocketing is a real deal in Europe. And these niggas be out here. They be out here. And so I like was going through my wallet and everything, going through my money and making sure I still have my passport and my cards and stuff like that. And I was missing some money. And I was sitting there like, did I spend some money? I don't remember spending. Like, it was one of those things where I was like, where is my money? And then maybe like 5 minutes later, it clicked. That was the money that fell out of my bag and was that I gave to that lady. And at first I was frustrated, but then immediately after that, I was like, you know what? Hopefully she needed it more than I did. And I was hoping I didn't really know. It was one of those situations where it was like, there's really no way that this could have gone differently unless I had realized that was my money. Because if you look at it from her perspective, somebody's just coming up and just giving you money and they're not saying anything. Now, of course, now as a whole, like person that I'm looking at people and how people be scamming, and sometimes they be trying to hand you stuff, and you got to be weary of that. I don't think if I knew that it didn't belong to me, I wouldn't have accepted it. But to her, it may have been like, oh, this is a very nice person giving me $20 or 20 euro. And so after that, I was like, next time, you know better. It was one of those situations, kind of like where the situation where I left my passport. Like, all right, that sucked. And now I will learn from that and I will not do that again. So that was that one time that I gave away my own money. Thanks for watching. And I hope you all are enjoying my videos. Feel free to drop some comments about things that you might want to hear about that I maybe haven't addressed yet. Or they might be videos that are coming up. I just haven't had the time to shoot them. So feel free to drop in the comments what you want to see and what you want to hear about. And I appreciate you all for watching. Thanks.